Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, we're gonna do the gray star seeds next, and it was funny because I'm not somebody that really like works with the gray energy. I haven't really been that intertwined with it. I didn't really feel like I knew all that much about them, right? So I went and I looked up to see like other people's opinions, and I was not satisfied with the response that I got for it, and I was like, I don't know, like something was missing, okay? Like, and I started having a picture up in my mind of like what I would assume a gray star seed would be like, right? So then I popped that into Google, like I was like top 10 signs of a boop a boop, and that's when I got the other things that were missing from the initial like and that's when I got the confirmation. It was like exactly what I was expecting. So I guess like intuitively I do know, and also can collaborate with others, right? Like that's how sometimes like, if we don't resonate with something, it's not that it's like exempt from us. We can still look at it, understand it, and take away from it what we take away from it. But again, with all of the star seeds, this is going to be for you to figure out, like, does this resonate for me? Do I feel like a connection to that? And they are souls that have originated from other planets and star systems. And with the grays, I feel like there's a lot of them that come from places that no longer exist, or they ran into some trouble, okay? It seems to be what I've heard, and felt and connected with over the time of learning about all of these things. But I think some of them can't reproduce anymore, and so like when there's abductions and things like that happening, um, I think a lot of it ties into that. And I've seen people who have, hybrid children, and they've met them and they had like no memory of being abducted to create that child or even having that child, but like they did. They were kind of like used as a surrogate, and then later on they come back and take the baby, and then later on they come back and take you and let you meet the baby. And I'm like, okay. But basically they come from places that are no longer existing, and they still have that soul karma and stuff that they're working on. So you're not obviously going around abducting people, but you may be somebody that ends up in that energy. You may also, I feel like they would also maybe be the type that it could go like one or two ways, where maybe you really strongly don't want children, or you strongly do but you may have a hard time having them. Like that energy may manifest into this 3D world around you, and they are here with the ancient knowledge and inner energies that they've carried before into this life, okay? And so soul signs are basically energetic imprints or markers that helps that soul blueprint, remember these things and figure these things out and reflect those past lives, the soul purpose, the karmic lessons. And sometimes they can be tied with astrological stuff, they could be tied with physical stuff. I'm not big on the physical stuff because I think that's limiting. To be like, oh, all of these are, blue-eyed blah blahs. Like, I've found that to be not true. And for the grays, there's some people who believe that like they'll have a strong association within their astrological natal chart. So you go to get a free natal chart and see if these things are in there. Just like with the Pleiadians and the Lyrans and things like that, they have their own. For me, with the Pleiadian, I know that like the lineups, Pleiadian in the May and November lineups, were significant. But for the Greys, Saturn is associated with karma, challenges, restrictions, and a lot of people believe that the gray star seeds may have strong Saturn placements in their natal charts, reflecting the hardships that they faced in their past lives. That doesn't have to be the case, but you may find that to be in there, along with Uranus, which is a planet of change, rebellion, and individuality. And I believe that this may be for many star seeds. It may not just be for the grays, but these are the ones that come back for the grays. So you might have prominent Uranus placements indicating the desire to break free from societal norms and make a difference in the world. And then Pluto, which is associated with transformation, power struggles, and hidden truths. You may have placements suggesting that you're here to help heal those deep wounds from your past lives. And again, I know for myself that those planets have significant things in my chart as well. But like I said, I don't necessarily resonate as strongly with them as I do others. So you want to look at the whole chart and the whole, like, what do you feel? And they may feel like an outsider, they may not fit in, which again, I think that goes across the board. But they also, I feel like, would be like in my mind when I was thinking of them, I'm like, I feel like this would be like the gamers, you know, people who are by themselves with headphones on somewhere. They're behind a screen. They're not like, they're not being recorded, you know, like they're more into the fantasy things and things like that, but they're going to probably want to do those escapism by like just being on their own. And they may be very much into technology, like kind of like tech geeks, you know, playing a lot of games or wanting to escape from this world, may get into like, you know, fantasy reading or watching. They also have a strong sense of purpose or destiny, and they would probably be drawn to spiritual, metaphysical concepts. I feel like they would also be the ones that would be like making videos, not with them in it, but like of all the different like sightings of UFOs and things like that, you know, and just being really drawn to that, looking into that, like exploring all of that. Going outside with telescopes, getting very into science, and, you know, kind of like just your typical quiet guy, you know. And I put that down, like, I put down the list of things that I had seen from others that was like, yeah, those things make sense. And then at the end, I was like, quiet, gamers, fantasy, technology, science. And those ones weren't on the first things that I saw. So I was like, and then when I looked up those 10 signs, it was like, boom, bang, boom, they're right there. It was actually a picture, and those 3 things were on there that I had written down without getting outside influence or support for that. What are you doing, dude? Why are you poking me so much? Sirius is over here. Wants to say hello. Want to say hello to everybody. This is Sirius Monster. He's a Syrian Starseed. He's a very good lovey-dovey bubby. Yes, good lovey-dovey bubby. So, yes, and, you know, I can only give you as much as I know, but I feel like that's the energy I get from them. Just kind of a quiet, stay at home, like, put my headphones on, escape into another world, very much into the science and technology, you know, logical types of things, may not want for a family, or may just be socially awkward, too, and not know how to go out about getting one of those, like, you know, they may just be more tending to themselves. And you know, I feel like even like the autism spectrum, they may end up getting like categorized in there, but it's probably more so all of that heaviness from all of those lives and all of that loss and destruction, stuff like that, is going to play a big part. So if they do healing work on themselves and their soul, they'll probably overcome a lot of that and come out of their shell and come out of wanting to escape and being able to create their fantasy into the reality that lives around them. So yeah, hopefully this will support you guys. And if there's any other star seeds that you want me to cover, let me know, because I've covered the ones that like I'm very strongly resonant with and know, like, I've worked with and have had a lot of signs and synchronicities around. But I know there's many, many more. But I don't know what you guys are specifically interested in seeing. I still have the archons written down, but I know that there's others, and there's some that like I've never even heard of too. I'm sure there is. So if there's some that you want me to tap into, I feel like I can still give you the messages surrounding what I get intuitively, mixed with what's out there, just to help, you know, maybe confirm for you. But yeah, in Mune, namaste.